Have you ever noticed that the people who show up for everyone else are often the ones struggling the most in total silence? Today, we're unmasking the psychological truth behind why the strongest people never ask for help. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. To the outside world, you are the rock, the fixer, the one who has it all together. But behind closed doors, you are drowning in a sea of your own needs. The pain isn't just the stress of the tasks, it's the profound loneliness of being surrounded by people who rely on you, yet feeling like you have no one to rely on yourself. It's the silent scream for someone to notice that you're tired, not just physically, but deep in your soul. You've become so good at being the strong one that people have forgotten you are also a human being who can break. You carry everything alone, not because you want to, but because the alternative feels terrifyingly unsafe. This behavior rarely starts in adulthood. It is often a survival strategy born in childhood. Psychologists call this learned self-reliance. If you grew up with parents who were emotionally unavailable or overwhelmed, you learned a hard truth. No one is coming to save you. You learned that expressing a need led to disappointment, or worse, being ignored. So you stopped asking. You became your own hero out of necessity, not choice. Then there's the fear of being a burden. Many stay silent because their needs were treated as an inconvenience. You were praised for being the easy child or the independent one. Now, the idea of asking for help feels like an imposition. You would rather suffocate in silence than feel the shame of being a burden to someone else. Deep down, there's a whisper that says, your needs matter less than everyone else's comfort. Next, we find the trap of hyper-independence. In society, we celebrate independence, but psychology identifies this as a trauma response. When you've been betrayed, vulnerability starts to look like a weakness. You view self-sufficiency as armor. If you don't ask, no one can let you down. If you don't depend on anyone, no one can control you. Then there's the emotional debt and the hidden strings. For many, a favor doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like a loan with high interest. You fear the moment someone says, "Remember when I helped you?" You would rather struggle through a storm alone than owe a debt to someone who might use it against you. This leads to the curse of the strong one. You feel that if you show a crack in your armor, the whole system around you will collapse. This is emotional responsibility, where you feel responsible for everyone's happiness but your own. So you bleed behind closed doors to keep the room clean for everyone else. If this is you, hear this. Your strength is not measured by how much you can carry alone, but by the courage it takes to let someone else carry it with you. You were never meant to be a lighthouse that never receives fuel. Being human means being interconnected. You are worthy of help, not because you're struggling, but simply because you exist. If you've been the strong one for too long, type "I am allowed to receive" in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind. You're not alone.